Hello and welcome to Moscow for the Kremlin Cup. It's not part of the World Cup Series, the World Cup final finishing in Nizhny Novgorod, but it'll be a good warm-up for the World Championships coming up in Taipei in August. A strong field, only 24 competitors in comparison to the 36 that normally compete during World Cup events, Olympic Games or the World Championships. The likes of Jana Buriak and Victoria Tereshchuk have both won twice on the World Cup scene this season. We'll start off looking at Ekaterina Khuraskina. Had a very good finish last time out in the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod, where she managed to finish second overall. And a very good fencer, comes from a fencing background, and had a very respectable result. 6th place overall in the fencing, with 28 victories and 18 defeats. Khuraskina, just 24 years of age and plenty of room for improvement, which is already developing into a very good modern pentathlete. Well, this lady needs no introduction whatsoever. Laura Asotskaitia from Lithuania, a reigning Olympic champion. Very good all-round athlete. She was 4th after fencing with 30 victories and 16 defeats. Married to the former Lithuanian modern pentathlete, Andrei Zadnaprovskis. She had a few problems with her pistol during World Cup events this season. But finished 4th in Nizhny Novgorod. Tatiana Yelizarova from Belarus, another very good fencer. Fine result for her there, 36 victories. From her bounce. Fencing really is a test of endurance for the athletes. It does go on a long time, and it's already a question of trying to motivate yourself all the time and trying not to get too despondent if a few victories go against you. Nina Kollmann from Germany, part of a new up-and-coming generation, really, of female modern pentathletes from Germany. I've been in the shadow of Lena Schönenborn for quite a long time, but with Schönenborn not perhaps showing her best form this season. Kollmann really has taken over, had a very good result in Nizhny Novgorod in the World Cup final, finishing 5th. And she's had decent results overall this season, 18th in Palm Springs, 9th in Chengdu. Olga Karmanchikova from Russia. She was 3rd in the fencing overall. Very creditable, 34 victories. As a former swimmer, came into modern pentathlon from this sports. Not the greatest in the combined, so she'll be trying to make up as many points in the first 3 events as possible. Only really started competing for the Russian senior team this season. She's 22 years old, age. Well, someone at the completely other end of the spectrum in terms of age, Lena Rublevska from Latvia, 37. Competed in 4 Olympics, very good fencer, one of the strongest disciplines. Was part of the Latvian team that's won the mixed relay in Nizhny Novgorod, along with Denis Chetkovskis. The evergreen Elena Rublevska, 10th overall after fencing. Margot Isaacson from the United States of America, good all-round athlete, 8th in the fencing. She's had very good results this season. Won the 2nd World Cup event in Rio de Janeiro, 6th in Budapest, 6th of the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod, 7th in Palm Springs. Just missed out on a medal at the London Olympics in 2012 and the World Juniors in 2012. Certainly one of the rising stars of women's modern pentathlon. Well, this was a leader after the first event. Yane Marquez from Brazil. He shot the modern pentathlon world by getting a bronze medal at the London Olympics, really putting to put the sport of modern pentathlon on the map in Brazil. very good all-round athlete. Third in Palm Springs, 8th at the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod.
You are the winner of fencing. What's your secret today?
Training hard. That is for the pentathlon. It's difficult to be always first in the fencing. We have more 4 events, so this is finished. So now let's swimming, then riding to combine, just finish, and the end of the day.
So just confirmation of the results after the first event, the fencing. Jane Marquez with 36 victories. No impact with Tatiana Yelizarova for first place. Victoria Tidishuk, who won the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod. Well down the field as a second patriot. Jana Buriak also won 2 World Cup events this season. Still a long way to go, and we can move to the swimming pool. The weaker heats. Showing the likes of Kuraskina and Yelena Rublevska. Tatiana Yelizarova as well, who was equal first after the fencing. Swimming has been Yelena Rublevska's perhaps weakest point, really, especially this season. Not really allowing her to push on, try and get podium finishes. That heat would be won by Anna Sevchenko from Russia, young Russian, easily winning in a time of 2 minutes and 24. Heat number 3. Legendary German Lena Schönenborn and Jana Buriak. Schönenborn doesn't really have the best of seasons, to be honest. Only competed in 1 World Cup event this season. Didn't actually manage to qualify for the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod, was a 3rd reserve. Heat was won by a young Russian, Anastasia Petrova, still in her teens. Like another Russian from a swimming background. Must be fastest heat, probably no surprises. Who won this one? Elodie Cledel from France. She always does in the swimming, completely and utterly dominant. She was part of the French swimming team trying to qualify for the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. Didn't quite make that team, just missing out, so she decided to switch her attention to modern pentathlon. Instead of swimming, giving her a massive platform. But just needs to work on some of her other events. Time under 2 minutes and 10 seconds. This one as well from Kuraskina.
How tough was it to swim today?
Today, it's a good time for me to 08. I have a good feeling, and now I'm just concentrate for the rest of the competition, riding and combine. My fencing is so bad, but it's not finished.
Can you make the prediction for the rest of the day?
I want just pleasure, and I want good sensation, and just happy. I like Kremlin Cup.
So confirmation again of the results after first 2 events for fencing and the swimming. Jana Marquez still out in front. Good swim from her to keep her in contention, but good. Jana Buriak has been so dominant this season in women's modern pentathlon, but finding herself in 19th place. And we can pick up the action live from the riding. Donata Rimshaiti of Russia. Doblist. Shaiti has had her problems this season in the riding events. So good, confident start so far. hands low. Just got that stride pattern wrong into that fence, and a first knockdown for the Lithuanian-born Russian modern pentathlete. Again, just didn't allow herself enough space going into that second fence, hence the knockdown. Seen some good rides so far earlier in the competition. A number of the modern pentathlete going clear. Just kicking a stride pattern right there and inside the time limits, but 3 knockdowns. Certainly at her course. Shaitia. She's had a nightmare mixed relay in Nizhny Novgorod, where she handed over to her partner 1 lap too early after the 400-meter mark, which led to the Russians being disqualified. So a big investigation really into the Russian team. In the previous events in Hungary, they were disqualified, I think, for not wearing the same bibs. So Anna Savchenko up next. Problems with a horse early on. Just to get herself underway and over that first fence. Not looking relaxed at all, really. Savchenko hasn't been on the senior scene for too long. This has been really a feature of the Russian team this season. Had a lot of problems in the riding events. Even in Nizhny Novgorod and the World Cup. The Russians probably should have had an advantage, in fact, due to the fact that you would probably be better acquainted with the horses and the course. Had a number of knockdowns. She got over that fence is known to her, probably. Miraculously, she's only had 1 knockdown so far in what's been a less than confident ride. So it's free jump section to go. Well, probably not the most aesthetically pleasing ride, but this will be 1 knockdown for Anna Savchenko. She'll pick up quite a few time penalties after losing control of the horse early on in the course. 36 time penalties overall, giving her a total score of 1,124.
1:18.8 points. 1,124.
And another Russian, Alise Fakrudinova. Was 13th off the fencing, good swim for her. She was 8th overall in the swimming, which has put her in 11th place going into the riding. Competed in Chengdu in her only World Cup event this season, where she finished a very creditable 7th. Very new to the senior circuit. Second of the World Juniors in Buenos Aires in 2011. Somehow managing getting herself over that fence. Hands are very high, so she's trying to balance herself with the horse through the mouth with the reins. Just knocking down that rail with the back legs. So she has a good horse bow. That's what he's doing. She got that jump completely wrong. 2 knockdowns so far for Fakhrudinova. This is a free jump section to go. Should probably in with time, but getting that approach completely wrong. And 2 knockdowns at the end. 4 in total for Fakhrudinova. Completed the Kremlin Cup last season, where she was 14th overall. Looking to try and improve on that result this time out. So, into the top 10, and Victoria Tereshchuk of Ukraine, who won the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod, has had a stunning season. Victoria Tereshchuk.
На старт приглашается бронзовый призер Олимпийских игр в Пекине, чемпионка мира 2000.
Bronze medalist from the Beijing Olympics. She was first in the first World Cup event this season in Palm Springs, 4th in Rio, 2nd in Budapest, and 1st in the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod. 31 years of age, was 23rd at the London Olympics, so could improve on that bronze medal from Beijing. So good at the combined, so she can get over this course with just a couple of knockdowns. She'll be well in contention going into the combined. Start. Yeah, completely lost control after falling on mats. After that knockdown, it's going to have a job on her hands to try and get control of the horse. Seems as though Tereshchuk has picked up an injury after that fall. Horse is wandering off to get out of the venue. Tereshchuk has finally got control of the horse. Set back obviously for Tereshchuk. To try and get herself back on track. A lot of time penalties. Really right halfway around the course. It clips the rail, but it stays on. It's quite a big course, this, which gives athletes time around the corners. 12 fences in all. So 3 more fences for Tereshchuk to navigate. So 3 knockdowns, but a lot of time penalties for the Ukrainian. And even with her combined, she's probably going to have a job on her hands to try and get onto the podium. Down in 14th place, provisionally just behind. I think championships are well and truly over here. 232 time penalties, 848 points. She'll be bitterly disappointed. Such a perfectionist, Victoria Tereshchuk. Lost control of a horse at that crucial moment. So Elodie Clavel of France, such an excellent swimmer. The best of fencing results. I've seen this horse go earlier in the competition. It's a good, confident horse. That's what he's doing. The job for Clavel is not to interfere too much. Just let the horse do the work. She's doing that well so far. Bit of a crooked approach, but recovers well. Stutter. Again, getting over the fence well. It's turning into a very good ride for Elodie Clavel. Combined, perhaps, in the strongest event. She gets a stride pattern right, and she does. And that's a clear round for Elodie Clavel, just inside the time limit. No knockdowns. You can see the delight on her face. It's an excellent ride from Elodie Clavel. So Clavel very much in contention. Up next is Margot Isaacson from the United States of America, hails from Arkansas. Her younger sister Isabel Isaacson also competing here. Since had an excellent season. Won in Rio de Janeiro. She was the World Junior Champion in 2012. Pretty good all-round athlete. First knockdown for the American. Slips the railing. Don't want to put the horse off too much. Excellent stride pattern. Hands low. Getting a crooked approach into that fence. Fence number 8. Clavel also didn't have the best of approaches, but managed to go over it. Just one knockdown so far for Margot Isaacson. 3 more fences to go. Just clips that final rail, but it stays on, and a very good ride by the American. Good time as well, under a minute. So 1,160 points for Isaacson. Again, she'll be well in contention. Good championships here. 8th after the fencing, 12th after the 13th after the swimming. It's a very good ride.
Ugliest ride I've ever done.
Let's pick that up on the mic. Isaacson enjoying riding here in Moscow. So, Janina Coleman on the horse Count Califostro. Looks like an excellent horse, very quick horse. Went earlier on in the competition. The time was only to be compared to go clear, I think. It was in time of under 1 minute. Well over that fence. It's been very sensible from Coleman. letting the horse do the work. Not trying to interfere too much. This is turning into an excellent ride by the German. Just these final 3 fences to navigate. Excellent stride pattern. And a stunning ride by Janine Koolman. Gone clear in a time of under 1 minute. I suppose that's like a draw sometimes in modern pentathlon. Got a really good horse. Let the horse do the work. And Koolman, again, also very much still in contention. And her results actually have certainly got better as the season's progressed. She started off in Palm Springs, 18th. 9th in Chengdu, and a very creditable 5th place finish in Nizhny Novgorod. Another really the up-and-coming German generation, trying to take over the mantle from Lena Schönenbahn. So Yekaterina Horaskina of Russia, 2nd place at the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod. Horse Rockwell. He's 24 years of age. Arguably the leader, really, of this Russian women's team. She's had a few problems with her riding. That's pretty much all the Russian modern athletes have had, both men and women. Quick ride by Horaskina. Another good horse, but just a knockdown there on the 8th fence. Important for Horaskina, but she recovers well. Really is quite some speed. Just can afford to take her time. And an excellent ride again from Horaskina, time of 57 seconds. Just been 1 knockdown, so Horaskina as well in contention. I've seen some very good horses at this event. Oh, this lady needs no introduction whatsoever. Laura Asatoskaitė from Lithuania, the reigning Olympic champion. It's a good season. 2nd in Rio, 10th in Chengdu, and stunning 4th place finish in Nizhny Novgorod. I mean, thought why not sound that good for athletes of Asatoskaitė's caliber, but she was something like 8th or 9th going into the final shoot in the combined. But such is her speed over the flat. She was able to make up a lot of ground and finish just outside the medals. So Asatoskaitė can get something like a clear round or just a knockdown or so. She will be with a very good chance. So the first knockdown. It's been a good ride so far. It's a bit of a stutter into that fence, and somehow she managed to get over it. Got the stride pattern completely wrong. It's a good recovery by the Lithuanian. Married to Andrei Zadneprovskis, the Lithuanian pentathletes. But a lazy, poor finish for Asatoskaitė. 2 knockdowns at the final 3 fences. But such is her combined, but she'll still fancy her chances of getting onto the podium. Well inside the time limit, so just the 120 penalty points, 1,080 overall. Diana Yelizarova from Belarus. Again, someone who's improved as the season's gone on. Yelizarova. Good fencer. She improved here, has picked up first place. Joined first place with Jana Marquez. 36 victories and 10 defeats for her. From Belarus. Experienced athlete, 29 years of age. She's never managed to get onto the podium in a major senior event, but she's gone flying into the fence there. Thankfully, she's not hurt. She's lost control of the horse. Pretty big jump. So just a few seconds for Yelizarova to try and compose herself. Somehow managed to get over to that fence, but the approach was all wrong. A quick horse. Recovery so far, well, just clipped the rail, also with back leg, struggling to get control. A zigzaggy approach into that fence, into the knockdown and the refusal as well, and this ride is going from bad to worse for Yelizarova. She's going to pick up time penalties as well. Final free jump section to go. What's been a ride to forget really for Yelizarova. Approach not the greatest, but she does get round eventually. 200 penalty points, plus time penalties as well. See Yelizarova plummet down the standings. Might score on his straights without the time penalties. Horrible start really for her earlier in her ride. Total score of 872 for her. So another Russian, Lyudmila Kukushkina. She sails from Nizhny Novgorod, where the World Championship finals took place, didn't qualify for that event. She went along nonetheless to cheer on her teammates. Only recently moved to Moscow. The main training base is located for Russian modern pentathletes. Kukushkina, a number of the Russians coming from a swimming background. In the fastest heat, along with Elodie Clouville. Kukushkina, very creditable second place finish in the swimming, time of 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Keeping her hands low. Not using the reins to balance. Certainly a good thing. So, Kukushkina just his final 3 fences to go. And a clear round for the Russian. Very good time as well, 57 seconds. And an excellent ride by Ludmila Kukushkina. Competed in Chengdu and Budapest this season, the World Cup season. Disappointing result in Budapest, where she was 36th, finished last. But a very creditable result in Chengdu, where she's fifth and she's leading going into the combined. Clue there that her combined isn't the greatest. So another Russian, Olga Karmanchikova. It's her first season in the main Russian women's team in the senior events. Again, like Kukushkina, a former swimmer. She was third after the swimming. So that propel her into second place going into the riding. Good fence as well. So it looks like she could be a promising athlete. So, long way to go. She's looking confident.
Ноги, ноги, ноги.
She's turning to use her legs. Well over that fence. Good approach. Plenty of distance.
Плечи назад.
Just needs to keep her shoulders back, try and be as upright as possible.
Ноги плотнее.
Bit of a stutter. But another excellent ride by Olga Karmanchikova. Thumbs up from her coach. What a champion, what an event she's having. She was third after fencing, got third place in the swimming, and she'll certainly be up there after that ride. Not the quickest of times we've seen, 1 minute and 3, but most importantly, no time penalties. So, such good rides for Kukushkina and Karmanchikova. Pressure is on Jana Marquez of Brazil. Also going to be a very good event, Jana Marquez. So, final competitor to go in the riding. Hands are quite high. Of approaches, but just still never gave that fence. Seen some very good horses in this riding event. Just clips that rail, but luck is with the Brazilian. A stutter, but again, so just this free jump section to go for Marquez. Well, Marquez responds to the pressure brilliantly. She'd seen her two nearest rivals go clear, and Marquez follows suit. With another clear round. Salute to the crowd. And so this is turning into a very interesting event going into the riding. Sorry, to be combined. After some very high scores. information now of the standings. So Marquez retaining a lead. Kamańczyk and Kukushkin are also in the top three. And Nina Coleman moving up the standings into fourth. Raskina and Isaksson also in with a shout. Asa Doskaitje dropping down the standings after not the greatest of rides for her. Just look at the scores though from that top 12. All over 1,100 points, with the exception of Asa Doskaitje. But Yelizarova really suffering. Well, Papush of Belarus getting the quickest time overall. But just like Yelizarova, Victoria Titashuk really seeing her chances evaporate. And I think even 2 minutes 51 Mac is just slightly too much for a competitor as good as Titashuk on the combined. See quite a few nasty falls during the process of the riding event. Some very good riding and some very good horses as well.
Пишем? Можно меня? Пишем, да?
Не понимаю. Мы пишем, нет? Все пишем.
Can you tell what went good and bad at the free events?
I'm very happy because I'm training so good. Because I'm very happy.
Thank you, thank you. Все
Нормально,
нормально,
сказала,
нормально.
хоть.
Ты сказала, что ты очень счастлива, что ты тренировалась.
Сертификат на эту сумму сегодня получит один из вас, зрителей, один счастливчик, который победит в той самой викторине, которую я для вас сегодня подготовил. Поэтому призываю всех зрителей возвращаться на трибуны и участвовать в борьбе за приз от Бинбанка. друзья, продолжается наша развлекательная программа, и вновь вас приветствует Кремлевская школа верховой езды. Показательное вступление традиции России.
Дамы и господа, миссия Кремлевской школы верховой езды – культура и традиции верховой езды на благо людям. В рамках этой миссии совместная команда кавалерийского почетного эскорта президентского полка и Кремлевской школы верховой езды возрождает традиции национальной, воинской и спортивной конной культуры, русское конное боевое искусство, жеребьевка. Этот вид сочетает в себе одновременно эстетическую красоту и боевую мощь. Всадник
Hello and welcome to the 2013 Kremlin Cup from Moscow. Well, this event isn't part of the World Cup series, but with that World Cup series finishing with a final in Nizhny Novgorod earlier in the month. It's good practice for the athletes going in to August's World Championships in Taipei, and there's a strong field featuring Victoria Tereshchuk and Zhana Buryak, who won 4 of the 5 World Cup events during the 2013 season. And there's Yekaterina Huraskina from Russia, who finished 2nd in the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod. Very good fencer. Was 5th overall with 30 victories from 60 and just 16 losses for her. Just 24 competitors in the field, rather than the regular 36 who compete in World Cup events and World Championships and the Olympics. Huraskina getting her competition off to a good start. This lady needs no introduction whatsoever. Laura Asatoskaitė, the reigning Olympic champion from Lithuania. Very good all-round athlete, very experienced as well. 30 victories for her, putting her well in contention. Had a decent season, was 2nd in Rio de Janeiro. 4th World Champion, or the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod. Getting a victory there. Fencing probably one of the toughest events really for the competitors, because it's just a test of endurance really. To have so many bouts and how to keep the concentration for such long periods of time. Especially if they get into a losing streak, it's a question really of trying to get their morale back up, get back onto winning terms. Elizarova, Tatiana Elizarova, good result for her. She's good enough to put her in equal first position. And Nina Coleman, one of the new generation really of German female modern pentathletes, looking to take over the mantle of Lena Schönenbaum, who hasn't had the best of seasons in 2013, but 2008 Olympic champion. It's Coleman showing good results here, and she's been getting better as the season's progressing. She's 5th at the World World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod. Surprise, Olga Kamanchikova of Russia. It's her first season with the Russian senior team. Competed in the juniors before then, but very good fencing result for her. Former swimmer, and that's a sport that she came into modern pentathlon with as a main sport. She's 22 years of age. Competed in one World Cup event this season, 20th in Chengdu. From the youngsters to the under end of the scale, really. Yelena Rublievska of Latvia, 37 years of age and still going strong. Competed at 4 successive Olympic Games. Silver medalist at the Athens Olympics. Although her best days are beyond her. That's fencing one of her better events, though she is often let down by her swimming. Margot Isaacson, the American, has had a very good season this season. 1st in Rio de Janeiro, 6th in Budapest, and Nizhny Novgorod, 7th in Palm Springs. Just missed out on a medal at the London Olympics, where she was 4th overall. In fact, she won the World Junior Championships in 2012, so she's certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with over the next few years. As the likes of Tereshchuk and Asatoskaitė reach the end of their careers. So the winner after fencing was Jana Marquez of Brazil. Really helped to put modern pentathlon on the map in that country after picking up a bronze medal at the London Olympics. 36 victories and 10 defeats for her. Very good all-round athletes. And so had a good season. 3rd place in Palm Springs, 13th in Rio, and 8th at the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod.
You are the winner of fencing. What's your secret today?
Training hard. That is for the pentathlon. It's difficult to be always first in the fencing. We have more 4 events, so this is finished. So now let's swimming, then riding to combine, just finish, and the end of the day.
So just confirmation of the final standings, as Yana Marquez quite rightly pointed out, a long way to go. Marquez, Yelizarova and Kamanchikova making up the top 3. Jana Buriak way down in 20th place. She's had such a good World Cup season. Just 16 victories for her. So I can move to the pool. 4 heats in all. And it's the slowest of the lots, featuring Irina Huraskina, Anna Savchenko and Yelena Rublievska. And also the joint leader of the fencing, Tatiana Yelizarova. Rublievska's not the greatest in the pool, but Anna Savchenko, another up-and-coming Russian, having a big lead. And she would easily come home in first place with a decent time of 2 minutes and 24.10. Now move to the third heat, featuring Jana Buriak and Margot Isaksen. Also Lina Schönenbaum, a little earlier, hasn't had the greatest of seasons. Missed out on qualification for the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod. Partly due to the fact that she just hadn't really competed in that many events this season, just in Budapest, where she was 20th overall. 15th in London. And she won the Kremlin Cup last year, Schönenbaum. So 2 minutes and 20 dead for her. And the final heat, featuring Elodie Clouvel of France. There's no prize for guessing who won this heat. Clouvel, a dominant force in the pool in women's modern pentathlon. Was trying to get in the French team, swimming team, for the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. Didn't quite manage to do enough to qualify, so she decided to switch her attention to modern pentathlon. She has a bit of work to do to improve in some of the other disciplines, but in the pool, certainly rules are loosed. Good results for Kukushkina and Kamanchikova as well.
How tough was it to swim today?
Today, it's a good time for me to 08. I have a good feeling, and now I'm just concentrate for the rest of the competition, riding and combine. My fencing is so bad, but it's not finished.
Can you make the prediction for the rest of the day?
I want just pleasure, and I want good sensation, and just happy. I like Kremlin Cup.
So just confirmations of the results from first 2 events for fencing and the swimming. Yana Marquez retaining her lead in first position. Russians also doing well, with Olga Kamanchikova and Kukushkina completing the top 3. And we can move to the riding. Join the action with Elodie Clouvel, putting herself right back in contention with such a strong swim, as per usual. On the horse Machika. Seen some very good riding so far. A number of competitors have gone clear. fast horses, which has left the athletes just to guide the horse, really, and not to put too much work in. Clavel isn't the best at the combined, so she's going to need a good ride to try and keep her hopes alive of a podium finish, or a top 5 finish, much more realistically. It's a good start so far from Clavel. Confidence. Sitting upright in the saddle. A staggered approach to that fence, but recovered well. Turning to a very good ride from Elodie Clavel. Very relaxed. Low hands. Just letting the horse do the work, and finish the course just under the time as well, so she won't pick up any time penalties as well. Clear round for Elodie Clavel, and she's absolutely delighted with that result, and might she be? So as for riding and the fencing, well, I suppose they've combined as well, but Clavel has to work on, and she's been putting in some good practice in the riding, and those results certainly have paid off. So up next, Margot Isaacson. What a season she's had so far. The American, so consistent from Arkansas in the United States. On the tour with her younger sister Isabella. Was Praznik, which means festival. You see this horse go earlier, and very quick horse. Horse to maneuver as well. See how Isaacson gets on, and she's off to a very good start. While unfortunately, she's about knocked down there. Really is motoring around this course. Margot Isaacson just clips the rail there, but hasn't affected the concentration too much of the horse. Easily over that double jump section. Good control, letting the horse do the work. This is the case with Clavel. Bit of a crooked approach again to that number 8 fence, but a good recovery. Well over that fence. So Isaacson just for one knockdown so far. 3 more fences to go. Getting the stride pattern right and navigating them without any problem whatsoever. Just under a minute. Just for 40 penalty points for Margot Isaacson. Still leaving her well in contention. Plenty more riders still to go.
Margot Isaacson, time 59.6 points, 1,160.
Ugliest ride I've ever done.
You see Isaacson saying, best ride I've ever had. Well, it certainly was a very good ride. So Janina Coleman is having a very good event here on Count Kalifistra. Coleman's, as I said, having a very good event. 8th in the fencing, 12th in the swimming. And really, her season's got better as it's progressed, to be honest. It's 18th in Palm Springs, 9th in Chengdu, and a very creditable 5th place at the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod. So how will Coleman get on? Good, confident start. By the German. horse. Certainly helps as well. It's got no problems in terms of time. And another excellent ride. Janina Koelman ran the course. Just under a minute. The coach looks on with a broad smile. Another excellent ride. The likes of Ixixon and Koelman really will be putting the pressure on those riders still to come. Such good rides. Next to go will be Ekaterina Huraskina from Russia. She's 24 years of age, 17 for the London Olympics. Horse Rockwell. A lot of the Russian athletes have had problems in the riding this season. Very hit and miss. Huraskina probably is the leader of a Russian team at the moment. And that second place finish in Nizhny Novgorod certainly will have done her confidence no harm at all. Slouching slightly in the saddle. Just want to try and get more upright. That knockdown coming as a consequence. And with so many of the top riders going so well, it's imperative really for remaining riders that they pick up as few penalty points as possible. But that'll do nicely for Huraskina. Very good time. Well inside the limits, just though it's one knockdown costing Ekaterina Huraskina. She'll still remain very much in contention. Has had good results this season, 4th in Palm Springs, 8th in Rio, 14th in Budapest, and of course that second place finish in Nizhny Novgorod last time out. So the reigning Olympic champion Laura Asadovskaitė up next on Verona. It's had a mixed season so far, Laura Asadovskaitė. It's 4th in Nizhny Novgorod, but that probably doesn't actually tell the whole story of just how well she did in the combined, because she was something like 8th or 9th after the final shoots. But such is her pace over the flat, she was able to make up a lot of ground and finish in 4th place. Has had some problems with her shooting though this season. But a good start by Asadovskaitė. Just a bit lazy of a horse there, knocked down with the back legs. The quality of horses have been good here in Moscow. Saw in Nizhny Novgorod, but a few of the competitors had problems. Hasn't really been the case here. Very few of the riders have failed to go under 1,100 points so far. Disappointing end, a bit lazy really from Asadovskaitė. Had been going very well, but those 2 knockdowns certainly will probably cost her. Inside the time, so no time penalties for her. So Asatoskaitis dropping down the standings somewhat. And the joint leader after fencing, Tatiana Yelizarova, Belarus. Never managed to get herself onto the podium. Though her results have been improving as the season's gone on. Good fencer, as we saw by that first place finish. Swimming is weak and does often let her down. She's having a lot of problems here early on, getting control of the horse. Not the sort of start she would have wanted. Yelizarova. Just trying to serve his first fence confidently enough. Oh, a horrible tumble into the fence by Yelizarova. Just compose herself and try and get control of the horse. The approach was all wrong, to be honest. Experienced athlete, 29 years of age. Just got that stride pattern wrong and was sent flying into the fence, but thankfully no ill effects for Belarusian athletes. Stutters over that fence somehow. Seen some very good rides so far. This probably isn't one of them, though. Just not looking confident at all. Experience certainly does play a part in the riding. It's often a discipline that riders pick up as they go along in their careers. Yelizarova having a number of problems here, and seeing her hopes of a possible podium finish evaporate with every hurdle that she clears, or doesn't clear. Already 200 penalty points she's picked up, and some time penalties as well. Pre-jump section to go. Well, it's a nice finish, but the damage was done earlier in the course. Or Yelizarova. And her hopes really have well and truly evaporated. So, Ludmila Kukushkina, third place after the first two events. Didn't qualify for the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod, but promising athlete. Fifth in Chengdu, was actually first going into the combined. Finished fifth overall, which probably says something about combined not being her favoured discipline, unlike the swimming. It's a good confident start by Kukushkina. Getting upright, keeping her hands low. Just letting the horse do the work. She's got a good horse. We saw him early in the competition. Quick as well. That's well cleared. That's number 8 fence. Has posed quite a few problems during this event. Certainly not for Kukushkina, though. Kukushkina, her name derives from a Russian word kukushka, which means cuckoo. And that's an excellent round by Ludmila Kukushkina. Oh, look at that time. 57 seconds, and she's clear. And she will be certainly in with a chance going into the combined. And the pressure firmly on the final two competitors. And Next will be another Russian, Olga Karmanchikova. But finally the Russians seem to get their riding right. Had so many problems this season, more than any other nation, any other top nation. Really has hurt them over the course of this season. Well, here's Olga Karmanchikova riding Patrick. Again, like Kukushkina, former swimmer who came into modern pentathlon from that sport. Competing in modern pentathlon for 7 years, but this is really her first season competing in the Russian senior team. Russians, most of the women's event don't have the depth that they have in the men's, but still force to be reckoned with. Young generation emerging, the likes of Kukushkina, Karmanchikova, and of course Huraskina.
Ноги. Ноги, ноги, ноги.
Taught to get the legs in the right position by a coach. Slouching a bit, hands are low. Again, letting the horse do the work. She's got a good horse here.
Плечи назад.
Taught to sit back in the saddle.
Ноги плотнее.
So it's 3 fences to go. So can she repeat what Kukushkina did? Yes, she can. Another clear round. And finally, a happy coaching staff for Russia's riding team this season. Well, obviously helps with their riding at home, so they'll be well accustomed to the course and the horses. Maybe it was so just Jana Marquez to go. And she'll certainly have taken notice of the fact that her rivals have had very good results. So bronze medalists from the London Olympics really helped to put the sport of modern pentathlon on the map in that country. Safe at the World Cup final in Nizhny Novgorod. Best result this season of a third place finish in Palm Springs. So how will Marquez get on? Got a stutter into that first fence, but good recovery. That's much better. Over Brazilian. Again, letting the horse do the work. Not interfering. Bit of a crooked approach into that fence, but good recovery in the end. It was fence number 8, which has caused a few problems, but negotiates it without any problem whatsoever. Very relaxed. Looks as though Marquez could emulate Karmanchikova and Kukushkina. She's got 3 more fences to go. And another excellent ride. Jana Marquez responding to the pressure expertly, going clear. No time penalties whatsoever, well inside the time bracket. And Jana Marquez will lead going into the combined. Very good all-round athlete. She'll certainly fancy her chances of winning this year's Kremlin Cup. Well, just a couple of minutes to go till we can get underway in the combines as we join the action live here from Moscow. So Jana Marquez out in front. She'll start 3 seconds ahead of Olga Karmanchikova, and there's a big gap to Ludmila Kukushkina. She'll start in 3rd. Just look at the gap there as well. 1 minute, Janina Koilman. Just goes to show, I mean, how much those clear rounds in the riding of how the top three pull away. The top five all going clear in the riding. Only Asatoskaite in the top 12 scoring under 1,100 points. That's, I think, a deficit of just about 1 minute 15 probably will prove a bit too much for someone of Asatoskaite's ability. Disappointment vote for Victoria Tereshchuk, who lost control of her horse, picked up a lot of time penalties, and she's well out of contention. Stiana Yelizarova also having problems. She was crashing into a fence. So the riders just making their way to the start line. Yana Marquez have just a 3-second lead from Olga Kamanchikova. A gap of around 30 seconds before Ludmila Kukushkina will be able to get underway.
Seconds to the start.
30 секунд до старта.
So just 30 seconds to go so we can get underway.
20 seconds to the start.
Just a reminder there of the top 8 and starting differences, handicaps. A lot of work for
10 seconds.
like Koilman and Kluvel and Uraskina really, and it's excellent to try and get into the
5 seconds.
podium positions. So almost ready to get underway.
Итак,
gun goes.
прозвучала первая участница лидера соревнований Ян Маркес из Бразилии уже на дистанции. Через 3 секунды
Yana
за ним
Marquez
стартовала Ольга
makes her
Карманчикова,
way
номер
to
2
the shooting
Бразилия.
range.
Через 31 секунду после Ян Маркес стартует Людмила Кукушкина, а Ян Маркес уже на стрельбище.
Olga Kamanchikova in pursuit as Marquez makes her way to the range. Gets her first shot away. Kamanchikova missing with her first shot, but this has been a good shoot so far from Marquez. Away in 11 seconds, Kamanchikova having a lot of problems on the range. Only 1 shot away in the time that it took Marquez to get 5. As Kukushkina enters the range as well. And Kamanchikova away in around some 25 seconds. Kukushkina missing with her second shot. Janina Coleman hasn't even got underway yet, so Kukushkina clears the range. Respectable 14.65 as Coleman and Kluvel. And then there's a bigger group coming. Asatoskaite, Isaksen, and Uraskina. But Yana Marquez with a big lead over Olga Karmanchikova. Who also has a big lead over Ludmila Kukushkina. Koilman also away from the range. Hasn't managed to make up any ground whatsoever. Kukushkina, the first of that big group to get away, but I think having quite a few problems. So we can see now here what the gap is. Asatoskaite has moved up the standings. Asatoskaite has had her problems this season on the shooting range, especially in Chengdu. They've actually managed to finish 10th despite being stuck on the range for around 50 seconds a couple of times. fact, Marquez has increased the gap over Kamanchikova to 25 seconds. And given the way she was shooting in her first shoots, it's going to take a lot to try and stop her. See shortly if Koilman has managed to close the gap on Ludmila Kukushkina. There's Olga Kamanchikova. In fact, Kukushkina has actually increased the lead of Janina Koilman. Moraskina chasing down Koilman. But Marquez, she enters the shooting range for the second time. Okay, getting her first shot away. I guess it's the second miss so far. Got plenty of time. No need to panic, no need to rush. And away in just under 15 seconds. It's away from the range even before Kamanchikova can get there. And Kukushkina has a chance to put her under some pressure. Kamanchikova getting away. Slightly better time this time. Kukushkina, I think, is the quicker over the flat. Zekaterina Moraskina gets to the range. Now moved ahead of Janina Koilman. She's got a good combined. Moraskina. She's going to need some very quick shooting if she's going to try and battle for a medal place. But Marquez extending her lead even further now. It's over half a minute from Olga Kamanchikova, who's 10 seconds herself ahead of Ludmila Kukushkina. As Moraskina gets away from the range herself. Does Koilman. Asadaskaite up to 6th place. So quick over the flat. Laura Asadaskaite and Lena Schönenborn into the top 8. There's the chasing pack. Well, they're a long way back. Olga Kamanchikova. Even the second place finish would do her confidence so much good. Kamanchikova, it's her first season with the women's senior team. She's competed in one World Cup event this season in Chengdu. And Kukushkina further closing the gap on Kamanchikova. It's now just 4 seconds as Marquez pulls further and further away. Kukushkina really closing on Kamanchikova. Looks to be tiring badly. Kukushkina looking much the fresher of the two. Almost on the shoulder. Kukushkina certainly with a slighter build. This is certainly Jana Marquez's race to lose, just about 50 meters away from the shoot, for a third shoot. So, got all the time in the world. Kamanchikova's not even in the picture at the moment. In fact, she's been passed by Kukushkina. Kukushkina has a gap of around 2 seconds. But they're going to need a bad shoot from Marquez, but they haven't got it. What a time. Best time so far. On the third shoot, Jana Marquez getting away in under 11 seconds. So, Kamanchikova and Kukushkina on the range, and look at this, Laura Asatoskaitia is about 20 meters away from the range, and with these two girls having trouble, if Laura Asatoskaitia can get away quickly, she's got a very good chance of getting on into the medals. Kamanchikova is still on the range. Asatoskaitia already got 4 shots away, and I think Kamanchikova is not going to hold on to third place for much longer with Asatoskaitia getting away. And just can't see it in your screen, but the running start between the two is markedly different. So Marquez retaining her 36-second lead from Ludmila Kukushkina. Olga Kamanchikova dropping down to third place, but she's going to come under a lot of pressure from Laura Asatoskaitia. There's the leader, Jana Marquez, bronze medalist from the London Olympics. It's third in Palm Springs, 8th in Nizhny Novgorod at the World Cup final, 13th at a home event in Rio de Janeiro. There's Ludmila Kukushkina desperately trying to make up some ground on Jana Marquez, but I think it's a foregone conclusion, really. Especially as Marquez has been shooting so well. No, she has actually made up a bit of ground. The gap is now down to 29 seconds. As Asatoskaitia moves into third position past Olga Karmanchikova. So, does Asatoskaitia have enough time to try and catch Kukushkina? I wouldn't put it past her. She is so good when it comes to the combined, Laura Asatoskaitia. The only one probably is in the same league as her is Victoria Tereshchuk, but given the fact that Tereshchuk started 2 minutes and 51 seconds behind Jana Marquez, I think it's a foregone conclusion that she's going to have any impact. Oh, Asatoskaitia is motoring along, but Marquez looks very composed and relaxed. She comes into the final shoot, just around 50 meters to go. She's got a gap of around 30 seconds. Kukushkina is still some 200 meters away from the shooting range, and Asatoskaitia really is gaining on Kukushkina. Let's look at Marquez. Gets her first shot away. And a second. First miss as Kukushkina takes the range, closely followed by Asatoskaitia. And Marquez gets away in 16 seconds, and surely no one will be able to catch her. Not even Asatoskaitia, I don't think. Asatoskaitia way in under 10 seconds. Well, the gap's probably around 300 meters at the moment. Marquez around probably the 700 meter mark. The gap is 18 seconds. Has Asatoskaitia got enough to catch Jana Marquez? Well, if it's one person in the world who'd have a chance of getting this distance back, it'd be Asatoskaitia. Well, we'll soon see. Kukushkina, she'll certainly probably finish in third place. No way that Karmanchikova is going to catch her. Raskina might try and put some pressure on. Jana Marquez seems to be tiring, but you can see Asatoskaitia in the background. Interesting to see the next split time. But Asatoskaitia is giving it everything. she's so quick over the flat, and now she can go full out because she hasn't got any more shoots to worry about. Marquez taking a glance over her shoulder. And she's gaining. Just look to see how much the gap is. 8 seconds. She's made up 10 seconds already. So has Asadaskaite got enough distance left to try and catch her? There was another lap or another shoot, then I'm sure that Asadaskaite would catch her. Has she got enough? What a finish we've got on our hands. Everyone thought this race was all over, but Asadaskaite is absolutely motoring. And she's got Marquez, who's tiring in her sights. Marquez takes another look over her shoulder, and she must be worried. Asadaskaite. She's pulling out everything. Marquez is worried, but just look at the determination on Asadaskaite's face as Marquez enters the final. Can Asadaskaite catch her? No, she can't. What a finish, and what a run by Asadaskaite, but Marquez had just enough to hang on. What do you think about this? Laura Asadaskaite started, I think, 1 minute. 1 minute and 17 seconds behind Jana Marquez. And she won by just a second from the reigning Olympic champion. Marquez just holding on. Tara Shook, what a run from her. She started 2 minutes and 41 behind the leader. Finished in second place. But what a performance by Jana Marquez. But also hats off to Laura Asadaskaite, who produced an absolutely stunning race. Well, we can expect this from her. We saw it, very similar thing in Nizhny Novgorod, where she was down in 8th or 9th going after a final shoot, but managed to make up so much ground. Jana Marquez getting high fives from the Brazilian coaching staff. But that is a sensational finish. Congratulations to Jana Marquez, who picks up her first victory of 2013. Very solid competition from her. Marquez congratulating Victoria Tinoshuk, who produced a stunning race of her own to even finish in the top 10. Oh, what a race and what a competition. Skaite having a joke with Margot Isaacson. Diminutive Lithuanian athlete. But how dangerous is she? Over the flat. Well, that's a winner, Jana Marquez from Brazil. Bronze medalist at the London Olympics.
Лаур, ну это было что-то просто невероятное. Расскажи вообще, как тебе удалось это сделать с 8-го места на 2-е? Боролась за 1-е просто. Мы тебя поздравляем, во-первых, в первую очередь.
Skaite being asked how she was able to manage to get from 8th to 2nd.
На самом деле, даже не думала, что буду первой.
I didn't even think that I could be first.
И только первая стрельба была плохая, последняя
Unfortunately, I had a very poor first shoot.
Это мне дало как бы увидеть Маркос, который бежит первая, но просто как
I managed to see Margot in my sights.
Буквально 5 метров. Ускорялась, но все-таки не вышло.
Yeah, I tried and tried really hard, but unfortunately just wasn't able to make up the gap.
Действительно, да, отрыв был большой. Вот проанализируй, где ты сегодня ошибалась? Фехтование, плавание, где?
Well, just having a look over the general results, where did you make the most mistakes?
На коне, может, вот пару ошибок
Well, I
сделала.
think I made a couple of mistakes
лишних.
during the riding.
Вот. А так, в принципе, все хорошо. Я
But
вторая.
I think
вот.
everything was
Думала,
overall
может, как-то
good, and I'm
третий
pretty
быть.
happy with my
А тут
performance.
вот чуть не первая.
Shame I
Спасибо
couldn't manage
тебе,
to finish in
Спасибо.
first place. So, what a ride. Sorry, what a race from Laura Astaskaitia. Also, a very good result from Ludmila Kukushkina as well. Getting a podium finish. Promising Russian athlete from Nizhny Novgorod. Third place for her overall. Yanita Koilman finishing in fourth. A good result for... So results haven't been updated yet, so just confirmation of the top three. Jane Marquez in first, Laura Astaskaitia missing out by just a second. Ludmila Kukushkina some way back in third place. So that's the podium lineup. Seeing out of the corner of my eye, Astaskaitia, despite that run, she's got still enough energy to run back to the shooting range. That's all from Moscow, from the women's event. Join me tomorrow for the men's event. That's all from me, your commentator, Richard Van Port Fleet. Goodbye for now.
Well, there's no difference.